What's up, guys? It is Carly here, bringing you day number 3 of my 12 days of Christmas horror, and today I'm going to be talking about a movie that I feel like a lot of people kind of overlook and forget about around this time of year, and that is P2. So rightfully so, because this movie is not your average Christmas horror movie. It takes place in a parking garage, and it's about a woman who is basically kidnapped by the security guard who is running the garage late at night. Her car breaks down. She's in a hurry. It's Christmas Eve. She's kind of a workaholic, and you get the vibe she's always kind of letting her family down and never showing up to things on time. So she's in a hurry and she wants to get out of there, but her car will not start. So she's trying to get a taxi. The security guard seems nice at first and he's trying to help her out, but then it turns out that he is not what he seems, and it kind of turns into this fight for her life as she's trying to get out of this parking garage and escape this guy. So that's what's going on in this movie. As I said, though, it is set on Christmas Eve, so it does have a Christmas type of setting and feel. Well, not so much setting, I guess. That's the thing about this movie, is it is set in this parking garage, and you would think that it really wouldn't have much of a Christmas vibe to it, but honestly, guys, this one really oozes Christmas for me personally. I don't know what it is. You got the girl at the beginning. She's lugging all her gifts around that she's going to take to her family, and then the security guard, he has his entire, office, if you will, decked out for the holidays. It's got all kinds of decorations and just lights, and he has it really just nicely decorated. And then throughout the movie, he's playing music, like the Christmas songs by Elvis, as well as some other songs, and I just think it's a very eerie and well done Christmas feel that this movie has going on for it, and I feel like it's one that has a lot of rewatchability, honestly, especially around this time of year. And yet again, it's another thing that you wouldn't think you could rewatch a lot, but this is probably, it's only like my third time watching it, if I'm being completely honest. I didn't discover this one until a little bit later in life. I think JP recommended it to me. I forget if he actually gave me this or if I bought it myself, but it's one that I can go back to and thoroughly enjoy, and it has my attention throughout the entire film. There's definitely one scene in it in particular that's very brutal and gory and actually kind of sad as well, and I think they do a really good job with the just effects, and it's just a very, very brutal scene. Other than that, there's not really much else going on as far as gore and kills. There's like one other sort of kill that happens in the movie, but it's not nearly as intense as this one part in particular. But the characters that you're following, you mainly are just stuck with this woman and this young dude the entire movie. I think they do a solid job. I've never really seen the two actors in anything else that I know of. They might have been in other things I just haven't seen, but they're not very familiar to me, and that's surprising because I think they both do a very solid job in this film. The guy character, the security guard, he kind of has that sort of pretty boy charming look to him. Almost reminds me of almost a Norman Bates type of deal at the beginning, where he seems like he would be harmless, and then he turns out to be something completely different. I think he pulls it off well, is trying to act really innocent, even when you know that he's crazy towards the end. He's still kind of acting innocent, like all he wanted was to spend Christmas with someone, and he's just a lonely guy, but what he's doing is horrific and not good, obviously. And then, of course, the girl does a good job as being the strong female lead. Overall, I really enjoy the setting as well, this parking garage. It's very eerie and creepy, and parking garages, I think a lot of people are actually creeped out by just in general in real life, especially if you're walking through one alone at night or something like that. They're already dark places, but to be in one alone, you never know what kind of creeps are lurking around. So I think it's a pretty interesting setting to put a movie in, and I think it's something that they could definitely use more often in horror movies. Makes for a good contained horror film. So overall, I love P2, and it's one that I do recommend watching around Christmas time because, in my opinion, it has a better Christmas feel than Red Christmas even does. So definitely recommend this one if you have not seen it yet. I really don't have many negatives or anything like that for this movie that I can honestly think of, but it's one of those movies where it's like almost perfect to me, but for some reason I don't want to give it a 10, so I kind of came in with a 9 out of 10 for P2, so definitely check this one out if you have not. And yeah, thank you guys once again for joining me for day number 3 of my 12 days of Christmas horror, and I will see you for day number 4.